50 state parks, 44 state trails, 15 state forests.
Getting outside and enjoying the great outdoors is part of how we live in Wisconsin.
Spring, summer, fall, winter.
It's the quiet season, and it's beautiful.
Whether you love camping, hiking, snowshoeing, or swimming.
If you're looking to get away and quiet and have some reflection time and kind of leave the noise behind, if you will, this is the place.
The backwoods of Wisconsin has something for everyone.
Join us as we journey across our great state, taking you into the wilderness to uncover the history and hidden gems that make up Wisconsin's state parks.
Thanks for joining us. We're here at High Cliff for our Trails and Treasures of Wisconsin State Park special.
Over the summer, our Eric Peterson traveled across Wisconsin highlighting the popular parks and hidden gems of our beautiful state when it comes to relaxation and recreation.
And we take you back to where it all began in 1900 in Polk County, Wisconsin.
Established in 1900, the 1,300-acre Interstate State Park is a Wisconsin original.
We have over 9 miles of summer hiking trails, an additional 9 for winter trails, 82 campsites, several picnic shelters, and just great beach that we have here. Things for you to enjoy.
Natural Resource Property Supervisor Matthew Densow says the site is also the western terminus of the 1,200-mile-long Ice Age National Scenic Trail,
which goes all the way from Interstate Park, meanders across the state of Wisconsin, following roughly the last glaciation of the state, and ends up in Potawatomi State Park over in Door County. And it's always a place where people are either going to start their journey or finish their journey. With the Ice Age Interpretive Center here, when we're open and available to the public, we have more information about the Ice Age Trail, but it's also a great reference point for people to get that information.
Park leaders say Interstate welcomes about 250,000 visitors each year.
There are so many things that I love about this park.
Art Anderson is the vice president of the Friends Group at Interstate State Park. He says, among other activities, volunteers raise money for new signs and improvements to trails.
Beautiful overlooks. Just last year or the year before, we've created a nice level 404-foot path that is very accessible for people that have difficulty walking or some disability issues. Yeah. And so they get the same great view as they would as if they walk down to the overlook.
Another popular place is this giant pothole. Densow says melted glacier water and debris formed whirlpools to carve circular caverns into the bedrock.
It varies depending upon where you are, but the closest parts to the river, you're roughly 30 to 40 feet above the river itself. Yeah. So when you're on the pothole trail and you see where the potholes currently are, that's how high the water was when it was all flowing through. And many of the rocks that are in there were called grindstones, which we have a very large example right over there.
And while these potholes may be unique to this Wisconsin location, Matthew Densow says the park experience stretches beyond interstate.
Everybody, no matter where you live in the state, there is going to be a property nearby that the state park system manages. Whether it's a state park, forest, recreation area, trail, the Wisconsin State Park System does it all.
Head north to Douglas County. That's where you'll find the biggest waterfall in the state, inside Pattison State Park. At 165 feet tall, Big Manitou Falls is the tallest in Wisconsin and the 4th tallest waterfall east of the Rocky Mountains. Dedicated in 1920, Pattison is Wisconsin's 6th state park. It draws roughly 180,000 visitors a year.
This is by far the most impressive waterfall I've seen in Wisconsin. This is by far one you don't want to miss.
Big Manitou Falls is fueled by a 20-mile section of the Black River. Decaying vegetation combined with seasonal runoff gives the water its root beer tint.
Making our way east across the Northwoods, Governor Thompson State Park welcomes upwards of 70,000 visitors a year.
Many take advantage of the accessible fishing pier on the Cauldron Falls Reservoir, while others prefer to explore the 16-mile-long trail system. There's a sandy beach and picnic area for those looking for a calm afternoon. And nearby kayak rentals are popular for those wanting to get out on the water. Visiting the 3,000-acre park is a great way to enjoy the Northwoods.
But it's just a great place to kind of disconnect, relax, and enjoy yourself. You don't have the hustle and bustle of like heavy visitation. You can actually, get away and relax and disconnect for a little bit here.
If it's winter activities you're looking for, Governor Thompson has 7 miles of ski trails, and ice fishing for panfish is welcomed on Woods Lake. Bordering Governor Thompson State Park is the Governor Earl Peshtigo River State Forest. With 9,200 acres, Governor Earl has plenty to offer. The Peshtigo River's free-flowing portion is known for its excellent fly fishing. Paddlers brave the Midwest continuous water rapids, and boaters can launch from one of the forest's 16 boat landings. The area is so untouched, some have likened Governor Earl to a getaway to the Canadian wilderness.
Head an hour south and you'll find yourself in Copper Culture State Park. At just 51 acres, Copper Culture is a great place to learn about one of the indigenous people who used to call the region home. Follow the main path and you'll come upon a stone monument. It marks the site of a prehistoric cemetery of the Old Copper Complex people, direct ancestors of the Menominee Nation, and who occupied the northern Midwest from 4000 to 8000 BC.
They were laid in here about 6,000 to 5,000 years ago in layers. And that would be a remarkable thing on any continent with any culture. Wow. But it happened here.
Built in the 1920s by Belgium immigrants, the Copper Culture Museum tells the story of those people as well as catalogs and detail artifacts they left behind. Door County is home to 5 state parks, but Peninsula is by far the largest and most popular.
And we'll show you the breathtaking views you can get from atop the newly renovated Eagle Tower.
But first, we take you to the southern end of Lake Michigan, where at 800 acres, Harrington Beach State Park has something for everyone.
As we continue to highlight the many state parks, forests, and trails in Wisconsin, we head south along the Lake Michigan shoreline.
Harrington Beach State Park in Ozaukee County is all about accessibility.
And as Eric Peterson found out, that applies to people and their furry companions.
A short walk down the North Beach Trail leads people to Lake Michigan and Harrington Beach.
Harrington Beach's beach is over a mile. Okay. And it has the northern part of the beach, which is humans only, and then the southern part of the beach actually allows pets. And so people bring their dogs down there and let them take a swim and have a picnic with your pets.
Harrington Beach State Park Superintendent Molly McKay says the 800-acre park includes features for all.
We have a nice big picnic area so people can come and set up and have a picnic. Yeah. We have a handicap accessible playground, so if you have children who need some ADA accessibility, you can bring them to our playground and they can experience that. And we've got trails. We have a really nice paved trail called the Shuttle Trail, and we also have a quarry trail.
Quarry Trail loops about a mile around Quarry Lake.
It's actually crushed limestone, so it's another accessible place. Yeah. There's a lot of habitat for wildlife, so you're likely to see some birds along the shoreline there. Yeah. There's a little inlet where it looks like a little tiny waterfall, so it's pretty scenic. And along the quarry, we've got those cliffs, so it's just a really pretty spot.
Not far away, anglers test their luck from an accessible fishing pier at Puckett's Pond. The 70-site campground includes a handicap accessible cabin. Back on the Lake Michigan shoreline, Molly McKay says Harrington Beach is a hidden gem.
We like to preserve some of our natural resources, so we're providing little islands of habitat for wildlife and little islands of space for people to get away from the city.
If it's more beach you're looking for, head north to Kohler-Andrae State Park in Sheboygan County. With over 2 miles of beach to explore, over 130 campsites, and 7 hiking trails, including the famous Corridor Walks, Kohler-Andrae welcomes about 650,000 visitors a year. And just up the hill, the Kohler Dune State Natural Area is billed as the biggest dune complex on the western side of Lake Michigan.
We have a big sand dune. We call it the Kohler Dune State Natural Area. Yeah. It's a protected space, and it's big sand dunes that were formed by the winds coming off the lake and building these dunes over centuries.
If you're not afraid of a little cold and snow, Kohler-Andrae offers winter camping. And for those braving the elements, there are cross-country and snowshoe trails.
Located in Sauk County, Devil's Lake is the largest and busiest state park in the state. Situated along the Ice Age National Scenic Trail, Devil's Lake boasts a 360-acre lake. Bluffs rising 500 feet above the lake's surface, complete with towering rock formations at the top. With nearly 30 miles of hiking trails and more than 400 reservable campsites, it's easy to see why Devil's Lake attracts more than 2 million visitors a year.
Even before the park came to exist, it was a destination for tourists. The railroad, when the railroad was put in, they would bring up people from Chicago. And the resort era in the 1800s, the late 1800s, really is what created the popularity of this place.
Devil's Lake was established in 1911, making it the third state park to join the system.
And head 215 miles northeast to find one of the other biggest and busiest parks in the state. Peninsula State Park in Door County has over 450 campsites available, and nearby Nicolay Beach offers fun for those wanting to take a dip. And just up the shoreline, the historic Eagle Bluff Lighthouse is open to visitors. If it's breathtaking views of the waters of Green Bay you're looking for, make the 60-foot trip up the newly renovated Eagle Tower.
The Niagara Escarpment is the highlight here at Peninsula State Park. So we've got vertical bluffs about 150 to 200 feet. It's got a lot of unique habitats. So we have trails that go kind of through it, but we've got a lot of, we've got endangered snails. We've got this microclimate that has a lot of unique animals that call it home, like bats and all that kind of stuff.
Peninsula State Park features 2 golf courses. As Fox 11 viewer Doc Bundy captured this fall, and over 40 miles of hiking trails. 11 additional miles of mountain biking trails were completed this fall. There's plenty more amazing parks in Door County to check out.
Rock Island State Park is a fan favorite with a lighthouse older than Wisconsin.
Plus, the biggest nature enthusiasts go to Door County's Newport State Park. We'll tell you why when our state park celebration continues. We last showed you Peninsula State Park, a popular attraction in Door County.
That's where we'll stay, but we head south to a place where officials say is designed to be on the quiet side.
Our Eric Peterson has our story from Newport State Park.
For more than a half-century, Newport State Park has offered a place to get away.
It's Wisconsin's first wilderness park. Okay. So unlike other parks that have a lot of drive-in features or drive-in campgrounds, we're all wilderness. So if you want to camp here, you have to walk half a mile, 2 miles, 3 miles to get to your campsite.
Newport State Park manager Brian Gruby says the site features a look to the stars.
We're also the International Dark Sky Park. And we're the only state park in Wisconsin to have that designation. So we get a lot of folks up here for dark sky viewing, and which is really unique. The fact that we're at the tip of the peninsula and we face east, there's very, very little light pollution.
There are 26 miles of hiking trails spread throughout the 2,400-acre park. Richard Greer and his wife Ellen are visiting from the Milwaukee area.
It's very quiet. It's very back to nature. The trail we took was fairly rocky and probably above our skull level, but we made it back.
I didn't remember this, but the shoreline, the rocky shoreline here is spectacular, and I'm not seeing another one like this in this area. So we walked along the rocks, and that was a lot of fun. And then the lake is so clear. It's unbelievably clear right now. Between
Newport and Europe Bay Beach, which is just on the north part of the park, it's 2 of the nicest beaches, on the Michigan side, just because we're up north. There's not a lot of, agriculture or pollution in there, so the water's, very clean, 99% of the time.
About 125,000 people visit Newport throughout the year. Brian Gruby says the trek is worth the trip.
If you're looking to get away and quiet and have some reflection time and kind of leave the noise behind, if you will, this is the place.
It takes 2 ferry rides from the Door County mainland to reach, but many say the trip to Rock Island State Park is well worth the effort. Like Washington Island, vehicles are prohibited on Rock Island. However, bicycles are also not allowed, giving visitors a unique state park experience. Upon arriving at Rock Island, visitors are greeted by the 65-foot tall boathouse. A $1.2 million renovation was recently completed on the nearly 100-year-old building. One retired carpenter taking time to marvel at the structure.
The logistics of getting the material here, the craftsmanship that was put into it to construct it and have it last as long as it has, it's just amazing.
While at Rock Island, you can also visit the Potawatomi Lighthouse, originally built in 1836, 8 years before Wisconsin was recognized as a state. The lighthouse is open daily for tours.
Head back to the mainland and you'll find the 75-foot observation tower standing tall at Potawatomi State Park. The tower reopened in May after undergoing structural and safety repairs. It had been closed for 7 years. Also new this year is an accessible kayak launch with over 100 campsites and a rental cabin that provides accessible amenities for those with disabilities. With 1,200 acres of terrain to traverse, Potawatomi attracts tourists and locals alike.
It's just amazing. Well, you get all the views, and you get now with the fall, you'll get the fall foliage, you get your exercise. It's a win-win situation.
Potawatomi serves as the eastern end of the 1,200-mile-long Ice Age National Scenic Trail. From woods to wetlands and a pristine beach, Whitefish Dunes State Park has something for everyone.
Except for maybe the one thing you'd expect of a state park. What that is, plus
how a hidden gem in the Fox Valley is connecting northeast Wisconsin to Niagara Falls.
Whitefish Dunes State Park may have dunes in the name, but it's the gorgeous beach that's the draw at this Door County park. But visiting the beach is just scratching the surface of what Whitefish Dunes has to offer. Head to the north and you'll find Brachiopod Trail. It runs through woods, wetlands, and connects Whitefish Dunes to the nearby Cave Point County Park. There's even one feature the park doesn't have that makes it unique.
There's a sense of wildness that's still here. It's kept that way on purpose. A lot of state parks, have campgrounds, and, we don't have that here.
If you decide to head south, you'll be taken down the Red Pine Trail. It's a quarter-mile loop on a former pine tree plantation.
Less than 70 miles south, you'll find another beach that draws visitors to the Lake Michigan shoreline. The Raleigh Point Lighthouse towers over the 6 miles of sandy shoreline at Point Beach State Forest. Owned and operated by the U.S. Coast Guard, Raleigh Point is off limits to the general public, but still a beautiful sight to take in. And when Mother Nature provides the right conditions, the shipwreck Continental can be seen from shore, sitting in just 15 feet of water after sinking in 1904.
On a good day, if the waters come, you can see the Continental from the top. There's a buoy with a QR code that you can take a picture of with your phone. It'll give you all the information on that. So that is, highlighting the marine sanctuary.
Continental isn't the only shipwreck in the area. It's actually one of 11 dotted along the coast of Point Beach State Forest. On the northern end of the park, visitors can enjoy ice cream and Friday fish fries during the summer at the Nature Center.
Located on the chain of lakes, Hartman Creek State Park is a quiet and picturesque gem in central Wisconsin. Established in 1966, Hartman Creek welcomes upwards of 400,000 visitors each year. There are more than 100 family campsites, a group campground, and 4 picnic areas. Hartman Lake offers kayak and canoe rentals along with boating and swimming. For those looking to be a bit more active, the park also has horseback riding and mountain biking trails. The park also offers plenty of winter activities as well.
It will be cold, and the snow makes it beautiful. It's great for taking a hike in the winter, cross-country skiing, snowshoeing. It's the quiet season, and it's beautiful.
Among the highlights at Hartman Creek is the historic Halstead House log cabin. Built in 1864 by Norwegian immigrants, the now 161-year-old building serves as the nature center for the park. The final stop on our celebration of Wisconsin state parks brings us here to High Cliff.
Bluffs towering over a lake is something you'd expect in the Dells, not tucked away in Calumet County.
As our Eric Peterson shows us, it's easy to see why the Fox Valley destination sees roughly 750,000 visits a year.
It is this hidden gem right in the Fox Valley. Like, you would not expect to come and see these cliffs and the overlook over the lake, how beautiful it is. And the other thing, well, what I love about the park, the changing seasons.
The 1,200-acre site is home to sections of the Niagara Escarpment. High Cliff State Park Ranger Nathan Jacques says the limestone bluffs run through the eastern part of Wisconsin, eventually ending at Niagara Falls, New York.
It is a special feature that comes through the park, and with that, again, there's certain plant species, there's certain animal species that need this type of terrain and environment and habitat to survive and thrive.
A 40-foot tall observation tower offers panoramic views over Lake Winnebago.
As long as you're not afraid of heights, you should be able to be fine in climbing up and really appreciating the view. There's, most of our area in northeast Wisconsin is kind of flat, so having some elevation on top of a cliff and then a tower on top of that, it's beautiful. You can't get better than that.
Jacques says the 112-site family campground is very popular. A 7.5-mile-long bridle trail allows horseback riding from May 1st through November 15th. There is a universal playground designed for all to enjoy, and there are also about 18 miles of trails for hiking.
Redbird Trail is our most popular trail, walking right along top of the cliff. They got some really nice vistas that you can see.
And while High Cliff welcomes about 750,000 visitors each year, Deb Lee says there's room to relax and recharge.
It's a big park, so even though a lot of people visit it, there's plenty of spaces to find your own space. And, to find a tree to sit under or a rock to just be near. It's really good for your soul, really.
Park officials say when conditions are right, people are able to see the Packers game at Lambeau Field from the observation tower. It's about 30 miles away. Eric Peterson's dedication to local conservation and clean water efforts does not go unnoticed. In October, Eric received the 2025 Impact Award from the Fox Wolf Watershed Alliance. Eric was recognized for being a dedicated environmental journalist and watershed advocate. Congratulations to Eric.
And that's a wrap on our Trails and Treasures of Wisconsin State Park special. We hope you enjoyed traveling across our great state to see the beauty in our own backyard.
And just because the temperatures are cooler, there are plenty of winter activities to enjoy.
If you visit any of Wisconsin's state trails, parks, or forests, be sure to send Fox 11 your photos using our Chime In on our app.